Hi everyone, welcome back to Boba and Friends. I'm Kat.
And I'm Fifi.
And today we will be having each flavor of the Indomie Noodles. We put the bags under each bowl because they look the same.
Yeah, that way we can tell them apart.
Yeah, so it was actually really hard to keep these all warm at the same time, just saying. Okay, so here we have the soup ones, which they smell really good. They kind of look like your average ramen, your top ramen, but I've never tried these, so let's see. Let's take a look. So I'm gonna start with the chicken curry one. See how it is.
We're gonna start the chicken curry one.
Oh, we are? We both?
Yeah. We might as well just do it at the same time.
Ooh. Forgot a little, oh, I was gonna say, I forgot a little spoon for the soup, but I'm well prepared with my little, okay. Ooh.
Is it good? Is it
Oh,
good?
it's good.
It's good?
It is good. Oh my gosh.
Do you get no soup?
This one is super flavorful. It tastes kind of like, well, obviously it tastes like curry, but it actually tastes like curry. I wasn't expecting much. Kind of has like a lime hint to it. It's really good. We also have our popcorn chicken that we always get. We made a couple eggs because these go so good with the dry noodles. And of course we have our boba drinks.
Boba. She got the monster boba again. I think it's the only one she gets at Ting Tea.
I'm kind of addicted to their egg pudding. It's so good. It's like Mexican flan. If you ever had that, it's so good. Okay.
This time I got the strawberry milk tea, and I still got the golden boba.
So, what would you rate the curry noodles?
Curry, I give it 8.5 out of 10.
I agree.
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah.
All right, let's try this one next.
You're right about the lime. It was weird that it had like a strong lime flavor.
I'm digging it. I'm digging it. Okay, special curry. No wait, still our curry. Special chicken flavored. I don't know what makes it special.
Yeah, we're not sure what's so special about it.
We're gonna find out. Ooh.
This one's also the soup. So these four are all soup ones, and then over here is all the dry ones.
Let me get some of this some of this soup. Also, can I just say I love these spoons. They make me so happy. They're so pretty. Here you go.
Thank you.
Okay. Special chicken. Here we go. I don't hate it. I'll wait until you try it. I'll wait until you try it. And I'll keep eating it. So this kind of just reminds me of Maruchan or top ramen. It doesn't seem like there's anything special.
It's pretty basic.
There's nothing special.
Especially compared to what when we just had the curry one. And those don't really have any special seasoning to it. Just strange.
I give this one a 4 out of 10.
Give it a 3.
Oh, 3. Okay. So there's nothing special about this special chicken. All right, next
we're false advertising.
We're gonna try. This one is vegetable flavor. Yeah, just vegetable flavor. Okay. I've never had vegetable flavored noodles before, so I'm excited.
Let's see if this is actually vegetarian friendly.
Is it? Yeah, that's why I was looking at it like, I don't think so. It probably has like
there's sometimes chicken. For Asian, especially Asians, is that the broth would be made from like bones, like pork bones or chicken bones. So it's not like 100%. It's just not vegetarian. Oh
God, I'm struggling over here. I need my fork.
So we don't really recommend if you're vegetarian to try this one because we're not 100% sure if it is vegetarian.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, you want to try it? Of course you do. You're here for a reason. Okay. I'll let you try this one first. I want to see your reaction. I'm like a freaking piranha when I eat. No, my proudest moment. Oh, okay. All right. What?
It's an interesting taste.
Okay.
You try it. It's actually very similar to the special chicken.
No. Oh, dude, I've been using the straw. It's like, why don't my chopstick look so funny? I've been using the straw. Comes with a straw and chopsticks. I was like, no, we're not gonna pick up that shit.
No wonder you're struggling so
I
much.
was thinking my chopstick game's usually not as bad. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just tastes like, it kind of reminds me of the curry with the lime.
Really?
Hint. Yeah, it's got a lime hint. Do you get that?
I don't get lime from this one.
I don't know if it's vegetarian though. I don't think so. But I give that one a 5 out of 10.
I get a 4 out of 10. It's a bit better than a special chicken, but you can actually taste some of the vegetable flavor.
Okay. So we have one more to try. That is the onion chicken flavor. Okay. Do you have high hopes for this one?
I don't know, the curry has beaten
Right?
two
Oh,
right
we started
now.
with the best
Yeah.
one.
It just goes downhill from here.
I was straight up about to eat it. So now I have to control myself. A little bit of that. Okay. Oh, my spoon hurts. I'm going for it with my actual chopsticks this time.
Well, you can smell the onion.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a good thing.
What's the verdict?
I'll let you try yours first, then I'll give a verdict.
It's not bad.
It's not great either.
It is not as good as the curry one.
Mm-mm.
The curry soup one was the best.
I think I would only ever really get this again. The rest are okay. I don't really like the fake onion taste.
Right.
Okay, so you ready to try the dry noodle ones now? All
Looking
right.
forward to those.
Okay, so here we have, which I consider to be my favorite, is the original. They're pretty good. Oh, I don't know where to put this anymore.
Put it back down there.
And then these over here are the
It's the barbecue
barbecue noodles. Okay, so let's give these bad boys a try. I'm gonna start.
Let's start with the original.
Yeah.
Let's start with the original.
Let's make her way. You need help.
A bit.
Probably because we made these first.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're usually much better when they're fresh.
Yeah. We suggest eating it immediately
Yeah.
after cooking it.
You probably need some. Thank you.
Okay.
This is a
Let's go.
struggle.
Let's go.
Everything's okay still. What's not okay? Thank you. Alright, I'm gonna start with that. That's good. Ooh, and I'm gonna go ahead and get an egg. So I like mine cooked more just all the way. She likes hers a little bit more runny. Here you go, that one's the runniest one. Okay. That one's classic. It's got a little
We've had the original so many times now, and it's always delicious.
I usually don't add this. There's a spicy packet, like spicy sauce, and I usually don't add it because I'm not a huge fan of spice, but we did this time because she likes it. It's actually really good. It's not bad. Especially with an egg. Oh.
If you're worried about it being spicy, it's not that spicy. She just has a low spice tolerance.
I really do. I'm working on it.
It's almost like maybe about Cheeto level, hot Cheeto level spice, but not even that much.
You've seen me react to those before.
Yeah, I've seen you.
Okay, so next we're gonna go with the barbecue. Yeah.
Okay, you go first.
Dude, we just need to get some scissors for these. I grabbed her chopstick. My bad. There you go. Yeah. Teamwork.
That's friendship.
Ready? Oh wait, we've had these before.
A tad sweeter.
I'm not even. There's less flavor in these.
Yeah, that's
way
the
less
thing.
flavor.
I think they don't have the spice or like this right seasoning for it.
Yeah. Right. Two more to try, and then we'll jump right into our story.
Yeah, the barbecue one doesn't have the spicy sauce, the chili sauce, so it's a bit more bland.
I agree. Okay, so here is the hot and spicy flavor. Is this your favorite?
The original is still my favorite.
Oh, okay, good to know, good to know. All right, let's do this. Here we go. I'm not sure about this. I tend to avoid anything that says hot and spicy on it. But we'll see. Got it? Okay. So let's give this a go and see how it is. It already looks way redder than the rest. I'm nervous. Okay. There it is.
This one's a little bit more spicier, yeah. This is like hot Cheeto spiciness.
Was hot Cheeto spiciness? I can feel it. It took a second. I was like, wow, this is nothing. I'm badass. I can do it. Then it hit. I mean, I can still do it. It's not bad. It's just not my preference.
It's also a little bit blander than the original one, too. I think you just added more like the chili sauce.
There's more salt in this.
Yeah, there's more salt in this one.
Okay, so what's our last flavor?
So our last flavor, we've actually never tried before. And it's just chicken flavor.
I hope it doesn't taste like this.
I hope it's not that, just with like a soup.
Yeah. We gonna find out. These things, man. Okay. No.
Let's try it.
It's gonna be a no from us. I haven't heard what you. I can hear your thoughts. It's just, it's not good. I'm not even.
You're not even gonna finish it.
No. It's not worth it. Do not recommend. It's just not. It's not a good time. It just literally tastes like this, but dry and more bland.
Really? It's actually much more salty for me.
Really? To me, it's just bland.
For me, it was like super salty.
You're like, just try it.
Yeah.
No big deal.
For this one, it just came with like the dry powder. It
No
didn't
sauces.
have like the original would have like the chili sauce, soy sauce, and some type of oil, and then the powdered seasoning. This one only came with the powdered seasoning, so it's not that great. So that's all the Indomie noodles. Oh, we didn't rate them. 10 out of 10. Barbecue, give it 5 out of 10. 6. Spicy, give it 7 out of 10. What are you gonna give?
I'll give it a 4.
Okay.
Also, that piece of chicken I got was huge. I was choking on it.
And then the chicken one.
We're giving that a 0
Yeah,
out of 10.
0 out of 10.
Not good.
I'd rather have the soup one. So, Indomie, don't get the chicken flavor.
Honestly, you're really good with the original.
Yeah, just go with the original.
Get yourself 1 pack and then you'll come back for the box of 30. Yeah, there's a box of 30 and it's usually like $10 or something. Super affordable. Yeah. It's really good deal.
For college students, especially.
Grown-ups with, you know.
Even with grown-ups with a job.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
It's really good. I actually introduced these to my mom and she's in her, early 60s. She's never had them before. And my box of 30 was running low. There was like 4 left. And she was like, I need you to go buy another box. They're good. Okay, so today we'll be talking about the murder of Ryan Poston. He was a 29-year-old lawyer who in 2012 was murdered by his girlfriend, Shayna Hubers. At the time, she was 21 years old. She was really young.
And she recently graduated University of Kentucky.
And she did it in like 3 years too, instead of 4.
She was, her friends had said she was very intelligent and kind.
Very smart.
Yeah.
Actually, from our other case, that's something that they had in common, was that everybody said Rita was really smart and responsible. That's kind of what they said about Shayna Hubers. So in 2010, Ryan Poston met Shayna Hubers through Facebook. They quickly began dating and they hit it off. It was pretty good at first, but that didn't last long.
So they were kind of on and off, on again, off again relationship, and it was kind of toxic. So a lot of the friends say that Shayna was very obsessed with Ryan. She would constantly text him, call him, and it's not like just 1 or 2 times during the day. It was like almost like 50 texts a day and like 20 missed calls from her.
They said that for every 1 text he would send, she would send 50 to 100, depending on her mood, really. That's a lot, I'm saying. My phone would blow up.
And the reason why it was kind of like on again, off again, is that Ryan wanted to break up the relationship, but he didn't want to hurt her, like emotionally. Like, he felt really bad. She would like immediately start crying if he ever brings up breaking up. She'll immediately start crying, and then he feels incredibly bad, so they ended up just going on and off again in the relationship.
Yeah. One thing his family always said about Ryan was that he was incredibly kind and had a big heart. For example, when his parents split and his mother remarried, he really took to his stepfather. He took his stepfather's last name as his new middle name to show him that he was welcomed into the family. That's really sweet. I mean, I don't know a lot of people who would do that. And he still managed to upkeep his close relationship with his father. They said he was a very much a family man, and he really cared about his family and his friends. 29 years old, civil law lawyer. He had the world ahead of him. His parents said he aspired to be in politics, perhaps a congressman, a senator. I guess we'll never know now. So, yeah, he met Shayna, and they started dating, and they're on and off again relationship. And they would do coupley things, like go on dates, and he would take her occasionally to the gun shooting range to show her how to shoot a gun, because he was a gun enthusiast himself. He kept several lying around his home. So
their relationship started to get really, really rocky. Shayna didn't want to break up. She didn't want to leave him, but he, on the other hand, wants to break up, wants to end the relationship. And it finally came on ahead in October 11th, 2012, where they had their last dinner together, and it was at Ryan's parents' house. And then after the dinner, they went to their condo, or Ryan's condo specifically, and they had into like a big heated argument. I believe Ryan finally decided to end the relationship once and for all. And Shayna kind of went off and didn't want it to end. And I think he mentioned at the argument is that he already had some kind of date. What is it?
Okay, this part is really interesting. So Ryan had landed himself with a date with a former Miss Ohio. So this, we're talking about tall, gorgeous, blonde, long legs, the whole package. So his date was supposed to be the following night with Miss Ohio. They also met through Facebook, coincidentally. Which is one thing I found interesting, because if you look up the case, she's kind of the main focus, like, of the ads and stuff. The way they worded, I almost thought it said Miss Ohio kills date or something like that, because they put her so much front and forward. I mean, she's a gorgeous woman, but I was pretty surprised after I looked more into it. I was like, oh, it wasn't a former Miss Ohio.
Because, you know, she would have been more well known because of that.
So that was an interesting. So Ryan had game. Just saying, he had game. So Shayna found out that...
So this is the day after, October 12th, 2012.
That's when everything went down.
Shayna came over to Ryan's place again, unannounced.
Uninvited. They said she did that a lot.
Multiple times, yeah.
She'll
always come
She
uninvited.
had a key. Sometimes she had a key.
Yeah.
She would just come all the time. And sometimes he would just leave because he didn't know what to do with her.
There, he would just go to his parents' house because he just didn't want to be around her, and she wouldn't leave his place. And so on that morning or night, he was getting ready for his date, and Shayna comes in unannounced. They started going, I think because they broke up the night before, she was trying to get him back. And that's when he let slip that he had a date with Miss Ohio. And I believe that was the breaking point for Shayna.
We don't know exactly.
We're assuming right now.
Yeah, speculating because
unfortunately one of the party is not here anymore.
So it was October 12th at night when 911 received a very frantic phone call from Shayna Hewers. She calls 911 and she's like, oh my god, just killed my boyfriend. Although she said it was self-defense, but right away police were a little suspicious, to say the least, because I think she said she killed him 15 minutes ago and she shot him 6 times.
So the operator asked, how long since you shot him? And she's like, oh, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes ago. That's already raising suspicion.
Yeah, why would you wait that long? I understand if you have to defend yourself and you know, with especially when somebody who's your boyfriend and you love them.
I guess your mental state isn't that great, but 10 to 15 minutes is a long time. If we waited 10 or 15, that's almost half our video, to be honest.
Wow, what a great measuring point.
But yeah, 10 to 15 minutes is a long time, even if you're frantic. If you love that person and he's just been shot, the first thing you want to do is get them medical attention.
Yes, for sure. And
so her story, what she told on the operator, was that they were in a fight and she felt unsafe, like he was like beating her up or something.
He grabbed a gun. He grabbed the gun. That's what she said on the 911
He grabbed a gun, and then when he was coming towards her, she panicked and
took it away from him.
Struggled it out of his hand and shot him 6 times.
Yeah.
So that was his first story. That was the first story she told the 911 operator.
So the cops show up. They take her downtown. They arrest her just to get her story. And they said her interrogation was actually really interesting and really different from the rest.
It's bizarre.
It's bizarre. There we go.
There are video clips of it if you want to
go take a look. It's pretty interesting. It's so unnerving to think that she just got done shooting her ex-boyfriend. Like, even if it was self-defense,
the way she acted was very suspicious and just very bizarre.
So one thing she started doing was she was just talking and talking and talking. The officer said they would have to go in different turns because they couldn't handle her for that long because she talked so much. She was just so overbearing. Even
though she asked her lawyer, you know, you have the right to remain silent. The police can't ask you questions if you enact that right.
Yeah.
But she just kept talking with the police.
Yeah, anybody that would listen should tell them a story. So that's not all though. That's not it. And we know everybody handles grief differently, of course. That's fine. Not everybody's gonna react the same way. But she was the cops described her interrogation as a Broadway show.
Mm-hmm. So there were times where she was left alone and the officer will be in another room. There will be an officer in another room that has like a video camera of the place, so they are constantly monitoring her. And so when she was alone, she would be dancing, singing.
She would sing, I did it, I did it.
I did. She even sang Amazing Grace for some reason. She was singing Amazing Grace. And she was like twirling, kind of dancing. And yeah, she was basically admitting to the crime saying, yeah, I did it. I did it. And you're like, oh my God, I did it. Like, she was just confessing to the whole thing. And wasn't really acting like someone
distressed.
Who...
She wouldn't feel like or worried about
or
him.
anything.
One thing she was quoted saying, which was super messed up, was that she said, I finally gave him the nose job he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Just strange thing to say.
It was, apparently he wanted to get rhinoplasty. I think that's the correct term for it.
Mm-hmm.
And she did shoot him in the face a couple of times, and that's when she said, yeah, I finally gave him the nose job that he always wanted. And that's just like, she's making jokes about a person she just killed hours ago. That's really showing that something's not right.
So the cops were on alert because of this. I think the main investigator on the case immediately thought it was not self-defense just because of her behavior. So they left her alone, and she talked to every new cop every now and then, and she told another story that changed her perspective on the second story. So originally, if you remember, she had said she took the gun from him specifically. But in the interrogation, she said he was getting violent and that he would abuse her and stuff, sorry, that he was mentally abusive to her. And she said she panicked and she grabbed a gun from a table because he kept it nearby.
He tends to like leave his guns a bit around his place. Which,
if you own guns and you don't have kids, that's actually not super uncommon. I mean, we're from Texas, so maybe it is uncommon in other places. But here, it's really not. So her story changed, and that immediately got the detective's attention.
Mm-hmm.
So they started looking in closely into what happened, and they asked her why she shot him 6 times. Why not once if you just wanted to get away and defend yourself? And her words were that she didn't want to watch him die. So she just finished it off like a mercy killing of sorts.
The initial shootings, he fell on the ground, and she said that he was still moving, like he was still kind of like twitching or something. Because she thought he was still alive, and to put him out of his misery, she shot him a couple more times.
I mean, I don't quite see this as when you have to, I don't know, if I had to put down my pet, I would be devastated. I would like fight it. I can't imagine doing that to my boyfriend or ex-boyfriend that I love so much.
Yeah, if it's someone you love, the first thing you want to do is get them immediate medical attention.
Yeah, not shoot them a couple more times. Right, yeah. Okay, so we'll let you guys judge what you
I can understand, like, from a hunter perspective. Like, people who hunt,
yeah, but it's
understand.
Not a deer.
Yeah.
It's a human
It's a
being.
human being.
Yeah, I get it, like, when you kill an animal, you want to kill him fast and quick, so it's a mercy killing, because it's like, I need to eat, I'm going to do it quick. Sorry to any vegetarians watching this, by the way. We're sorry. But it's a human being who you said you love. I don't understand. I don't understand. We'll just leave it at that. So, the detectives start looking into her, and they're not convinced. So they start talking to everybody, and they start finding out that she was very obsessive with Ryan, and that she was borderline stalking him. They talked to neighbors of Ryan that say they would hear them arguing at all hours of the night, and it wasn't looking good for her.
They also found no evidence of a struggle. Like, if she's saying it was in self-defense, they would expect at least some kind of, like, fight that occurred there. But there wasn't any evidence of self-defense, of, like, a struggle or fight there.
No knockdown furniture, no nothing, right?
No break items or anything.
No, she didn't have any injuries of her own.
So her self-defense claim is looking really weak right now.
Dude's noodles though. Sorry. She's arrested. She's kept in jail. She's not released. Finally, her case goes to trial. And her trial was also very interesting. People said she acted like she wasn't on trial, that she was just there hanging out, having a good time. She would do weird things like mouth "I love you" to her family and just kind of act.
She's very like casual about it and always smiling, like she's just having a great time there, really. It wasn't like somebody who's on trial for murdering their ex-boyfriend.
There was one sad part that kind of makes me like sympathize with her just a little bit, where she talked about how in the past she had been sexually assaulted. So they were kind of trying to play something like that she has trauma. So I'm not going to be the judge of is that true or is that not true. It's just something to keep in mind, that maybe that's what could have affected her mental state to lead her where she was at this point. So that's one thing that I do kind of think was a little sad. But she was acting really erratic. And the thing about saying I gave him the nose job he always wanted, a little messed up. So she goes to trial, and in her first trial she's found guilty, and she's sentenced to 40 years in jail. But later on, they had to throw out her trial because they found out that a felon had served on the jury. Which, I'm not judging felons. You know, people do things, that's fine. But if you ever end up on a jury and they say, "Are you a felon?" you should probably say, "Yeah, I'm a felon," because sometimes these cases get thrown out. And sometimes these prosecutors have to work really hard to get these results. It's unfair sometimes.
Also, their system is not good. Because they should have done a background check on these jurors in the first place. To make sure. Why would you just ask?
How does that work?
They're just like basing it on trust. Like, are you a felon? No? Okay, you're good.
Is that how it works?
Like, is that really how it works?
I'm not
because
sure.
We've never been on a juror.
Maybe they hid it really well.
But still, you should be able to do at least a simple background check to make sure they didn't commit any crimes in the past.
Okay, so her trial gets thrown out and retrial has to occur, which really, that's a tough thing for the family to have to relive it all over again. So it was in Ryan's family's favor because this time Shayna Hubers was not only sentenced to prison for 40 years, she was sentenced to life in prison. So she begins her life in prison. Actually, she started, I think, in 2018. It took years for these trials to happen too. Let's think about that. Isn't there one interesting fact we want to share with the audience?
Yes, one more interesting thing is that Shayna actually got married in prison with another inmate. Her name is Unique Taylor. And they got married, I believe, in July 2018. The ceremony was like about 2 minutes long. I mean at least you got married in jail.
They found love in jail. I mean,
you know what I mean? All those single ladies.
Right? There's love everywhere.
Yeah.
You gotta keep looking.
But then they got divorced in January 2019. Still a better love story than Twilight.
She just said still a better love story than Twilight. I won't argue with that. If you don't know what Twilight is, you're too young.
And don't look into it.
Yeah, don't bother.
Don't bother.
So, that was the interesting story of Ryan Poston and Shayna Hubers. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. If you like it, leave a comment, and if you don't want to, that's fine. We're just happy somebody is watching us.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Our first video got about 51 views, and we're just happy about that.
So, bye. Thanks for watching.
See you next time.